Hello, world start turning again. The paper review is back with all the latest continental news. First up for us today, a man who, like a remedial schoolchild, is in a class of his own. Leo Messi, who on Monday, of course, cleared another bit of his mantelpiece for his 4th Ballon d'Or. Coming out of the closet, often controversial in sport, but never so much as in the case of this jacket, perhaps. What did the world's press say about it? Well, he's the best in history, reckoned Catalan paper Sport. He is historic, says the Gazzetta from Italy. French press, Messi's in history, that kind of thing. In Argentina, ole, say he's won it 4 times and he must be running out of things to wear. Up here they say, what a fellow. He turns up at FIFA's big gala do in a polka dot tuxedo. That's who Leo Messi is, Cristiano. Get rid of him if you want to win anything. Right, over in Germany, meanwhile, Bild, they reckon, here is Messi not being number 1. Yes, when it comes to sportsmen dressing badly, Germany's best, says the paper, citing as evidence Germany's assistant coach from the national team in 2000 in a plaid jacket, says the paper, for which there are no 2 opinions. It was terrible. And Franz Beckenbauer's 1975 shock jacket, as Bild describes it, the emperor's colourful clothes. Looking incredibly Andy Kaufman-esque there, Franz. Anyway, I'm guessing that the good folk at Bild have never watched Hockey Night in Canada and the eyeball hemorrhaging appearances of this man, Don Cherry. But anyway, moving on. And while Leo was knocking spots off the competition, but not sadly his jacket, in Zurich, meanwhile back in Madrid, the real story of the FIFA affair was not so much Messi, but the total dominance of Spain throughout the awards. All indeed of the world's top 11 players coming from the Liga, and all 3 of the top managers too, Spanish-based. As call it a clean sweep. Have we mentioned this before? Spanish football is best, they say. While Marca have, it's the apotheosis of the Liga Española. Yeah, apotheosis now. No other league, says Marca, managed a single representative in the FIFPro 11, not the money-spinning Premier League, nor the booming Bundesliga, nor the declining force that is Serie A. Well, yes, well done to you. Although the fact that the rest of the Liga is gently going to hell in a handcart means it's a little bit like judging the footwear of the Philippines solely on the basis of Imelda's closet. But there you go. Moving on, one man who, unlike Leo Messi, wasn't spotted at the awards was, of course, José Mourinho, who said he was too busy working to go, only to then turn up watching his son's team instead. José's standing, as the new year rolls in, continues to plumb new depths in Spain, whistled by the fans and by the papers too. Among this week's headlines, Marca with fatal moo, Ass with moo in hiding, and my favourite, Marca's oi moo, no. Says Ass editorialist Thomas Roncero, what a shame that this man who was such a good coach should now fall prey to the kind of histrionics that have made him the Balotelli of the bench. Ooh. And pity that Real Madrid can't sort him out once and for all. Well, Mourinho himself putting a brave face on things this week, declaring, I'm only passing through here. They have more respect for me still in other nations. But according to the Italian press, at least he's running out of places to go. Says Gazzetta, Paris Saint-Germain and City don't like his style and the Italians can't afford him, so it could be that Mu and Real Madrid could be stuck with each other. Or Blackburn Rovers, just saying. Now, moving on to France, where Paris Saint-Germain have welcomed the man they think will be the new Leo Messi, Lucas Moura. Here he is on the cover of L'Équipe. Paris awaits its Messiah. Elsewhere in France, meanwhile, this being January, the big clubs have been falling over themselves in their hurry to crash out of the French Cup. The big winners so far being Épinal from the 3rd tier of the French game, who beat the holders Lyon. Cowardly Lyon could have been the headline on L'Équipe, although they went instead for Épinal of the Grand Ballon. Grand Ballon being both big ball and also a very famous local mountain, so nice work there. On to Italy, where there's been plenty of news. First of all, the ongoing row over racism. It's in here somewhere. There we go. Racism. Football walks out. This is Kevin Prince Boateng dramatically leaving the field with his Milan teammates after receiving abuse at a friendly against a local team, Pro Patria, just last week, a move saluted by the Italian press unanimously. Corriere dello Sport say Milan are a great club and they have given us all a great lesson with this. Gazzetta dello Sport say today we are all boating. They have a song about that at Eton. We are all black in our hearts on this day, says the paper. after this offence to civility. Well, all well and good. Will anything come of it? So far, yes, kind of. There's been charges and bans for the 6 supporters so far identified, one of whom is a local politician. The club as well, Pro Patria, will have to play 1 game behind closed doors. Plus, they've announced this week that from now on, police will suspend league matches if the referee indicates that there has been racist abuse. Well, hopefully that'll have some effect. Plenty of transfer news also going on in the peninsula. Going out so far are Pato, freshly crowned over Christmas as the Serie A tin ball, worst player of the year. He's gone to Brazil anyway. Also on his way is Wesley Sneijder, who's set for a move to Galatasaray. Although Tuttosport reckon there might be 1 or 2 hitches with that. One is Schneider's earlier comments that the Turks are all black marketeers. The other is his wife Yolanda's appearance a few years back in a softcore film called Turkish Chick, in which she appears wearing a G-string with doggy style written across the back in very small letters. It says the Italian press anyway, it's no big loss, Sneijder. The fact that no other club was in for him shows that this is perhaps his level, a player with 1 very good year in him, and that's all. Crikey, bit harsh. On the in pile, meanwhile, Serie A-wise, there's Giuseppe Rossi, who's joining Fiorentina, but still no word on the Didier Drogba deal. One day, indeed, it's Didier Drogba. We're at the decisive stages. The next, it's Drogballs, as Tuttosport put it. And La Repubblica, meanwhile, reckon it's all just chatter because no one in Serie A has got the money. And the same goes for Frank Lampard to Lazio. As for the notion, meanwhile, that Mario Balotelli might finally be finding a home at Milan, his boyhood club, of course, well, that gets a big no-no too, particularly after Silvio Berlusconi described Ballo as a bad apple. And when you get slammed by Silvio, you know you're in trouble. A bad apple, says the former Italian Premier. He's the kind of player who infects a dressing room. I won't have him at my club. Given that Berlusconi had previously described Mario as one of us at Milan, what has been the change? Well, the Gazzetta thinks they know the solution. Not Mario's recent bust-up with Mancini, but his falling out with the equally fragrant Raffaella Fico, mother of Mario's daughter, who, after perhaps the world's discreetest pregnancy, announced recently that Balotelli had told her he wants nothing to do with mother or child. Well, not surprisingly, Mario now seen as very much the bad guy in the Italian public eye. Ergo, says the paper, he's bad news for a Silvio Berlusconi back on the campaign trail. Berlusconi won't have him at his club because he got Raffaella in hers. Well, with that, we come to the end of a very mixed week in news. We'll have more talk, particularly from the transfer front, in next Friday's edition, so hopefully you'll join us then.